Hello everyone. I guess you all are doing great. So, in today's class, I will start with the topic debates within Christianity. As I usually do, I will begin with a question for this topic. The topic question is, how did debates arose within Christianity? Or a similar question is, how was a role for Reformation movement prepared? So now, as we start a question, that means what is the reason behind the division of Christianity? Many things were there. So that those debates we are going to study in this part. So first of all, as we came to know that Italian towns and courts, they start to be linked. When you say link means it started to connect with different parts of the world because of trade, travel, military conquest, and also because of diplomatic contracts. Now the new culture of Italy was happily accepted by educated and wealthy people, but there were very few who knows about this. That means there were very few of these people or few ideas of these educated people which were accepted by plenty. In other ways, we can say that the new ideas could not reach to the ordinary men because they were illiterate. So now the subtopic for this second paragraph of the book or the topic, you can take down the subtopic for this: spread of new ideas. So now during the 15th and early 16th centuries, a number of scholars of universities of Northern Europe were attracted to humanist ideas. Now, before this, when you talk about, as it is written, 15 and early 16. Now, before this 15, people, they have no interest in humanities or to study humanities. Now, when you say humanities, it is not like your subjects which you are dealing right now. So they were a little different. Like the subjects were like arts, okay, architecture, then we got different like moral education, grammar, all these things. So before this 15th and early 16th centuries, there was no interest for people regarding these subjects, but slowly and slowly they were attracted to these subjects. Like we can say one Italian scholar, like, or some Italian scholars, what did they do is they started to concentrate on the study of Roman and Greek texts, which are basically known as what classical Roman ideas or Greek texts and the holy books of Christians. Now they started to focus on this type of studies because these are all from the classical times. They started to focus on these books so that they want to bring more about or to bring the ideas of those classical times and spread them in the modern days. So what did they do is they asked the Christians to follow the religion the way in which it was given in the ancient texts in their religion. So you can't go and follow the way you like it. You have to follow a religion according to what it is written in the book. You have to believe blindly whatever was written in the book. So that was a thing which was started to be preached. So now, as you can see in the book, it was written, or it is written, that they asked the Christians to follow the religion the way in which it was given. So they also asked the Christians to leave unnecessary rituals. There were some rituals which was practiced during those time basically, and this practice were not exactly relevant to Christian practices, might be. So they say that this cannot be a part of Christians, so they have to leave this unnecessary rituals. So according to them, they said we have to add a simple gestures to the religion, so we have to make it a simple religion. The view of human beings was totally a new one. Now before 15th and 16th century, whenever a question is asked what is a human being, definition was little different. But after 15th and 16th centuries, and when the humanist culture started, the definition of human being also changed, and it has got a different idea, or different viewpoint about human beings. So it was literally a different new concept. They considered a human being as a free and a rational agent. So according to Christians, they said like, you are not supposed to do whatever is written in the book, but we are born free, we are rational, we are given so much of freedom. Then we are bound with Christian follows or followings. So as it is said that we should not follow unnecessary rituals. Now all the unnecessary rituals bound or binds a person and does not give them freedom. So that is why they say, let us remove these unnecessary rituals from Christianity. Later on, some philosophers who came into this same ideas, like who are attracted to humanities, they started to return to these over and over again. Means they started, now all these philosophers who were not with humanities, when they came to know that humanities really spread some different ideas, they also came back and started to read about humanities over and over again. They then believed that in a distant God who have created man. Means a distant God, whatever we are or whomever we are praying, this is a God. And this relation or this thinking of God was created, now created by man, and also that man is also created by a God. Now what we say is this, or what the humanities people or those who are practicing humanities, what they said is this: a God literally have created a man. So this particular idea, sometimes it is accepted by people, but sometimes it is not. So the one who does not believe in God, he always says that no, we are not created by God, but it was just like evolution. So we are not sure whether we are brought up or whether we are blessed by God, and then only we are, or human nature or human culture or humans are born in this world. But those who believe in God, they say that everything was brought or created by God. So you can see they believed in a distant God. This is how humanities are giving ideas to different people, that God is there and he is a person who have created man. But as we are talking about this, there are many people among us, around us at present also, who does not believe in all this. They also believe that man always seek for happiness, and they should seek for happiness in the existing world alone. So we all, what do we do is that we always look for happiness, and this happiness is always spread by new ideas. When you say, now how do we know that? How do we know that happiness is given to us by God? Exactly, we have no idea that happiness is given to us by God. But yes, we pray to God, we ask so many things from God that we always expect that God will give us something, and that is how we create some kind of happiness in our existing world alone. In any case, any matter, passing of exams, your exams are nearing up, results yet to be declared, or at the time of examination, or at the time of your declaration of result, we always remember God. This is for a student. For a grown-up, he remembers God in different time. So that is what is said. They also believe that man should seek happiness in the existing world alone. So we don't know about others, but man really does run after happiness. So that is the first thing, spread of new ideas. Now next paragraph, it is all about Thomas More. And now who is this Thomas More or More? Now during this time, or for this topic, or for this paragraph, you just take a short topic or subtopic, attack on the church. So that will be the subtopic, attack on the church. Now Thomas More. from 1478 to 1535 in England, and Erasmus 1466 to 1536 in Holland. What did they do is they observed that church started to become greedy, and they started to extort money. They started to ask or collect money from people according to their will, the way they wanted. In that way only they started to earn money. The simplest method of the clergy was to sell indulgence. If there was a clergy, now what does he do is, in order to earn some money or in order to earn extra, they used to sell some kind of indulgences. Now indulgences are some document, and in that document it was written that if you buy this or if you read this, you will be literally free, or you will be freed from your burden of the sins which they had committed. So as it was written, people who believed in that after reading that small indulgence they will be free from their burdens or sin, that means they started to buy it, and they were openly sold in the market. The rate of it also differs. So in order to earn more, they start selling these indulgences more and more. Then from the printed translation of the Bible in local languages, Christians realized that their religion did not permit such practices. So as people started to print more and more of it, now what do they found is, at last some of the Christians, they say that no, according to the Bible, nowhere in the Bible it is written that we can practice this type of things. In order to create a kind of atmosphere where people start thinking that just by reading some kind of lines or some kind of indulgences they will be freed from the burden of the sins, and that part does not support, or it's not supported by the Christians. Especially it was not written in the Bible, but people started to print these indulgences in different languages. It was sold in different languages, and people blindly, they just believed it and they bought it. And that is the reason why they started to attack on church. Now when you talk about attack, it is not that they really run inside and they broke the church and all. No, they attack means literally they started to boycott the practice of churches and all. That is how you can take down the meaning of it. That means attack on churches. Then another part that took place or that happened, which brought into the debate with the Christianity, was dissatisfaction amongst peasants and kings towards the church. This is the subtopic for that paragraph. You can see paragraph number 4. So it is said that during at the time when kings were ruling Europe, there were some areas, or you can say every part of Europe, the church started to impose tax on peasants, and the peasants started to oppose all these things. At places or at times, kings were also fed up of this interference by the church in the working of the state. Whatever the king wanted, the church will say they can't do it, okay, or the king cannot do it. They have to do in that order or in that order. That means the church started to interfere in the work of the kings and queens. So that is why they are also fed up of the church. But humanities pointed out that the basis of clergy's claim to judicial and monetary power was a document called the Donation of Constantine. Now there was one document which was written, Donation of Constantine. Now the humanists started to point out that this church, they are collecting money on the basis of that document which was known as Donation of Constantine. Now this Donation of Constantine was first issued by a Christian Roman emperor, Constantine, and it was the time when he was alive. But what happened was that this church people, they started to forge the signature of the Constantine. So it was issued by the first Christian Roman emperor, but humanist scholars argue that this was not a genuine document or uh, donation, because whatever was there, it was a forged one, or even it is known as a work on forgery, or it was a forgery work. The reason is very simple, because the first king or the first emperor had issued this document during his era only. But the church people started to continue this document for collecting money year after year or era after era. The church people thought that will be the best way to earn more money, and they started. The kings were happy to know it, and this very incident arose debates with Christianity and prepared a role for the Reformation movement. When the kings came to know that donation of Constantine is not a genuine one, the kings were very happy and they started to fight against this. And that was the reason how or why there was a debate within Christianity, and a role for Reformation movement started to be asked, or they started to prepare the Reformation movement.